Welcome to this explainer. If you've ever sat down, closed your eyes, and immediately felt just completely steamrolled by a chaotic storm of your own thoughts, well, you are definitely not alone. Today, we're really stepping into the shoes of a true practitioner. We're looking at a fascinating ancient Taoist scripture called the洞玄灵宝定经, or the scripture on concentration and observation. And I want to introduce this text to you not as some dusty, theoretical philosophy, but as a highly practical, step-by-step survival guide for our noisy, modern minds. The core tool we'll be learning today is inner observation, which, from a practitioner's perspective, is the ultimate weapon for handling our own mental chaos and facing down internal illusions. Okay, so here is our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at letting go of affairs to reduce noise. Second, beginning true inner observation. Third, taming those wandering thoughts. Fourth, seeing through demonic illusions. And finally, realizing that awareness is the great Tao. Let's dive in. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, let go of affairs to reduce noise. This is our preparation phase. We all know the modern problem of overthinking, right? But what's really fascinating about this ancient text is that it identifies an absolutely crucial prerequisite to meditation that we almost completely ignore today. See, the very first step in this ancient formula isn't about deep breathing techniques or twisting yourself into a perfect lotus position. It is simply let go of affairs. The text argues that you have to set strict boundaries to stop the mental drain of endless conflict. In our modern world, that literally means the endless notifications, the doom scrolling, the pointless online arguments. You've got to cut the noise before you even try to sit down. Think about it. You simply cannot expect to sit down and find deep inner peace immediately after spending an hour in a heated internet debate or absorbing a barrage of stressful news. It just doesn't work. The text warns us that true preparation means cutting out those external conflicts and meaningless consumption to stop the exhaustion of your vital spirit. To the Taoist practitioner, noise reduction in your daily life is the mandatory first step to noise reduction in your mind. Moving right along to Section 2, begin true inner observation. This is the core action. So we've minimized the external noise. Now, what is the actual action of meditation? What are we supposed to be doing? The core instruction here is sit peacefully and inwardly observe the arising of the mind. For a lot of people, meditation means forcing yourself to focus on your breath or maybe a specific energy center. But true Taoist inner observation, as outlined here, simply means watching your thoughts. Suddenly you remember an anxiety about an upcoming work deadline, you just watch it as a work thought. A memory of an ex pops up, you just watch it as a memory thought. You watch them arising, without judging them and without fighting them. It's like watching clouds pass in the sky. Which brings us to Section 3, tame the wandering thoughts. And let's be honest, this is the struggle. Watching your thoughts is so much easier said than done. So how do we handle that endless stream of thoughts without accidentally turning our minds into a numb, unfeeling block of wood? Well, the text makes a razor-sharp distinction between two things, the wandering mind and the observing mind. As a practitioner, your goal is to eliminate the chaotic wandering thoughts, the attachments, the emotional turbulence, the delusions. But, and this is a real game changer, you must fiercely protect your observing mind. That is your clear awareness, your wakefulness. A lot of beginners mistakenly try to kill all thought, aiming for total blankness. The Taoist masters say, no way, kill the chaos for sure, but keep that clear, bright awareness intact. If you've ever tried this, you know exactly how hard it is. I absolutely love this quote from the text. The battle of staying and leaving, the restlessness of the whole body. It proves that even the ancient masters struggled. When you first sit down, your body physically wants to get up. Your mind is literally screaming at you to check your phone. It's a battle. And honestly, it is profoundly comforting to know that this physical and mental urge to just quit is a universally recognized stage of early practice. Because it's a battle, there's a right way and a wrong way to fight it. Forced practice is the modern trap of trying to sort of hack or force enlightenment. You try way too hard, you aggressively suppress your thoughts, and according to the text, doing this can literally make you physically sick and intensely anxious. It totally blocks your energy. True practice, on the other hand, is the middle way. It's relaxed, but it's not scattered. It's holding your awareness loosely. It's like holding a small bird, not so tight that you crush it, but not so loose that it flies away. I really want you to take this ancient reassurance to heart. Do not abandon 1,000 lifetimes of work just because you cannot find focus for a brief moment today. Fluctuating focus is a completely normal part of the journey. Some days you're going to sit down and feel perfectly serene.
Other days, your mind will feel like a chaotic traffic jam. That is not a reason to quit. It's just part of the whole shebang.
Now for Section 4. See through demonic illusions. This is the ultimate test, and often the most misunderstood part of deep meditation. Have you ever wondered why, just when you finally get your mind to quiet down, it suddenly projects intense images, brilliant lights, or even deep, terrifying fears? It's a total paradox. You finally find stillness, and suddenly your brain puts on a wild light show. Why does that happen? The text refers to these as demonic states, but let's demystify this terrifying concept right now. From a practitioner's perspective, these are not literal monsters hiding under your meditation cushion. They are profound psychological projections. The very act of inner observation is the reason these hidden anxieties are bubbling up to the surface. It's a feature, not a bug. When your mind finally becomes as calm and blank as a mirror, whatever fears or hidden desires are buried deep inside your subconscious will be projected right onto that blank canvas. These manifestations take a lot of forms: strange lights, phantom sounds, terrifying monsters, or even majestic visions of deities and gods. The text gives a massive warning here for the practitioner. Do not chase or fear any of these. Even if you see a beautiful, awe-inspiring vision of a god, attaching yourself to that image pulls you entirely away from true stillness. It's honestly just another wandering thought in a fancier disguise. You simply use your inner observation to watch it and gently let it go.
And this leads us right into another critical trap. The text says, "Do not anxiously seek wisdom while in stillness. Forcing wisdom damages your true nature." We so often sit down hoping for a massive aha moment, right? A sudden burst of enlightenment that's going to magically solve all our problems. But striving for sudden insight is, ironically, just another wandering thought. You cannot force wisdom. You can only cultivate the stillness and let the wisdom arise completely naturally on its own schedule.
Finally, Section 5, awareness is the great Tao, the realization. If we aren't chasing visions and we aren't forcing wisdom, where are we actually going? Well, the text outlines these 7 incredible stages of realization. It starts super practically. First, your mind simply settles. Then, because your energy flows better, physical illnesses begin to clear up and your vitality returns. As practice deepens, the stages become much more profound, moving rapidly through the realms of immortal longevity and refined energy, all the way until you reach the level of the ultimate person, which is the state of complete, seamless merging with the Tao, the universe itself. And how exactly do we get there? Through this one singular realization. Knowing that the nature of thoughts is fundamentally empty. This awareness is the gateway to all wonders. This brilliantly summarizes the ultimate conclusion of the entire scripture. As a practitioner dealing with endless thoughts and illusions, you don't need to fight your mind with a sword. You don't need to suppress anything. You just need the pure, unbroken awareness to see that a thought is just a thought. It is fundamentally empty. It has absolutely no real power over you unless you give it power. Which brings us to our final and definitely most important challenge. True practice isn't just about finding peace alone on a mountaintop or in a perfectly quiet room. The text reminds us that the absolute highest level of this practice is bringing this mindset everywhere you go. So I leave you with this. Can you take this ancient inner observation off the meditation cushion? Can you maintain this clear, unattached awareness right in the middle of your busy, noisy, chaotic daily life? Because ultimately, that is the true survival guide to the mind. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.